Whoopi Goldberg sparks outrage with hateful Trump rhetoric as fans plead for U.S. talk show AXE. Enough is enough. The View viewers have proclaimed enough is enough after the panel ripped into President Donald Trump's appearance at the UN in New York this week. President Trump hit headlines across the globe following his nearly hour-long speech at the UN, in which he let rip against Europe, climate change, London Mayor Sadiq Khan, and the UN itself. In a one-of-a-kind monologue, President Trump reiterated his claims that he's in line for the Nobel Peace Prize, while claiming he'd put an end to 7 conflicts across the globe. He also claimed Sharia law was on its way to the British capital, took digs at Vladimir Putin, and claimed Christianity was the most persecuted religion on earth. Inevitably, President Trump's critics have used his speech against him this week, with the aforementioned Mr. Khan branding him racist and televised debates, such as one on Channel 5's Jeremy Vine, causing furious reactions. The View's Whoopi Goldberg and co-hosts Sunny Hostin, Sara Haines, Alyssa Farah Griffin, and Joy Behar followed suit on the ABC talk show, with actress Ms. Goldberg taking the reins. "Well, no, we know what the greatest con job is," Ms. Goldberg quipped after watching a clip of President Trump claiming climate change was a hoax. Ms. Behar then weighed in. "Yeah, I gotta give it to him. That speech was almost as funny as Jimmy Kimmel's monologue. But everything is a problem for him." By the way, a UN official speaking on condition of anonymity said that the White House was operating the teleprompter for him, she added, referring to the president's complaints about the technology at the event. "I bet they were operating the escalator too," Ms. Goldberg replied, again referring to another complaint the president made before Ms. Behar weighed back in. "Well, that was a videographer who was trying to get him on camera, I think. And it was an accident. And of course," he said, "oh, it's all against me. He's a little paranoid." Ms. Haines then sarcastically commented, "Well, clearly the clock was down, too, because that went on for 56 minutes. Ms. Farah Griffin kept the mocking tone of the discussion going. "I've been at a UN General Assembly a number of times, and it's over 190 world leaders, and most of them are listening to this via translation from their home language. So I'm just picturing you listening to the Mandarin translation of that. Like, what is he saying?" They were like, "What are you doing?" Ms. Goldberg joked before Ms. Farah Griffin continued. "At one point, I had this on in the background when we were in hair and makeup. He went from mahogany chairs to windmills to the stock market within, like, 5 minutes. I mean, you've got to respect the ability to just hard pivot on topics like that." Ms. Haines interjected. "And the other thing is that, good God, don't ever take that man off the teleprompter. Like, I just feel like someone died yesterday watching that. I mean, like, his people, his team, that was just a train wreck." Ms. Hostin cut into the debate to try to make a more serious point. "But to be serious about it, you know, what an embarrassment," she blasted. "What an embarrassment. Not only did he say those inflammatory and divisive types of things about immigration and other countries, but he also just lied to the group at the UN. He said 7 wars because he wants this Nobel Peace Prize, which is very strange to me that he wants it so badly. Will somebody make one and send it to him?" Ms. Goldberg sarcastically yelled to the crowd, prompting laughter from the View audience. As the conversation neared its conclusion, Ms. Behar then questioned whether or not President Trump's support for Zelensky is because the Ukrainian president said he'd endorse him for the aforementioned Peace Prize. Ms. Hostin claimed the only reason President Trump was keen for it was because Barack Obama won one, although Ms. Farah Griffin argued he should win it if he stops the Ukraine war. In the end, Ms. Goldberg surmised, "I don't think the world is laughing at us. I think they are really worried for us. The Nobel Peace Prize is not happening at the moment. He had an opportunity to do so much more than he offered them, and they don't consider him to be serious anymore. And I'm worried. This was not presidential, and this was not helpful." Following the debate, it's safe to say those watching from home weren't exactly pleased with the lack of balance between the 5 co-hosts, with some on X branding the entire discussion biased and hateful. Taking aim at the show, one social media user fumed. "What is embarrassing and not helpful is this biased show. Stop the negativity. Enough is enough. We're sick and tired of your hateful rhetoric. Just stop." A second pleaded. "Trump is the democratically elected president. We want him. If you don't like it, you can leave or you can fuck off. But we're just over it." Elsewhere, a third blasted Ms. Goldberg specifically. "Whoopi, you think President Trump doesn't deserve the Nobel Peace Prize? Tell us exactly what Obama did to earn his." And a fourth echoed. "Cancel the View. These women are pushing vile, hateful, and harmful rhetoric. They very rarely have a conservative on, and if they do, they're disrespectful to them. Their one-sided views are not good for our country." Whoopi, Sunny, Joy, and Anna are a big part of the reason we are a divided country. And yet, like Jimmy, they can get away with it. A fifth concurred, referring to Jimmy Kimmel, before a sixth bluntly put, "I do hope you all are canceled. There is no redeeming value to the View." However, Among the replies to the show's official account were a few who sided with the panel's stance on the U.S. president. One fan argued, "Then the MAGA wonder why everyone didn't clap and cheer like they do when he insults them. Trump is embarrassing as the head of this country. Sick."